Hi, I'm so glad you're here. So my first year teaching, I was super excited to finally be an ag teacher, to have my own classroom and my own shop and get everything all set up. And I spent hours and hours and hours getting ready for it. But I had this dear sweet soul in my welding class, let's call him TJ today, that would always undermine me every time I did anything. Whenever I gave instructions, he was always questioning them. There wasn't anything that he actually, I wouldn't say outrageous actions against me. Nothing that I felt comfortable about like shipping him off to the principal about. And let's be honest, we're told by our principals to deal with our classroom management in the classroom anyways. The biggest kick for me though was that not only did like me and him kind of figured out how to deal with each other, and I think we tolerated each other, but I knew that he had the other kids in the classroom behind him. He was definitely the ringleader, and it was very uncomfortable, and he made class tougher and tougher and tougher for me until I finally just had knots in my stomach every day. I dreaded their class. I hated it. So I tried to use as many different tactics as I could to try to figure it out. Some worked and some didn't, but I never really found anything that I felt was super successful and worked for every class and every kid. And I was beyond frustrated with spending all this time planning for a lesson and then having it undermined by a kid that I feel like I could have handled better if I had better tools. The problem got worse when I realized that there was a TJ in every single class. It didn't matter if it was animal science or freshman ag, like there's at least one TJ in every class. And I couldn't figure out how to work with them, and it drove me crazy. It got to the point where if I had a bad day with the kids because they wouldn't pay attention or wouldn't listen, then I would punish them the next day by not planning a good lesson. Like, who does that? Maybe you've been there. But I ended up finding out that the next day when I decided to not plan because I was punishing those kids, not only did the day go badly, but also I just felt like an even crappier teacher. So I was just compounding my problem over and over and over. As teachers, we're told that we need classroom management. We're given a whole bunch of curriculum, and there's tons of great sites out there right now that have curriculum resources for us instead of those big old 3-ring binders that our ag teachers used to use. But who taught you classroom management? My professor that taught me classroom management taught more towards middle school and elementary school formats, like Quiet Coyote. Anybody see that? If I used Quiet Coyote in my classroom, I would be laughed off the face of the earth. Like, that doesn't work in a high school, so I was super frustrated. And then beyond that, my first two mentors were both English teachers, and they did not understand the type of kid I had in my classroom. So over the next few years as I got started, I was reading classroom management books, I was going to seminars, I was reading about it, trying new techniques. I remember one time with my ag biology kids, they were all 10th graders, we did a positive behavior chain. I know, so corny. Don't even tell anybody else that I did this. So if they did something positive for the day, or if the day went well, then they would get a chain on the board. And after we got so many chains together, then we would have a party or something. I don't know. So it worked for one class, but it didn't work for the others. Like, they could have cared less. I was tired of doing stuff that didn't work consistently. And I was tired of hating that one class every day that had that one kid in it, and me feeling like the bad guy when all I was doing was trying to make super amazing, awesome lessons and make a difference in these kids' lives. So because of all of the struggles that I've had, classroom management has kind of become a mission for me, and I've worked really hard on figuring out ways that actually work in the classroom. So because of all that, I figured out some systems and some procedures to put in place so that classroom management works in every one of my classes, because we can quickly fix behavioral problems and then let it go and keep on going. Like, we're supposed to be learning in the classroom, so that's what we do. I've also figured out how to let go of the emotions on my side. I used to take that personally. I figured out a way to let all of that go so that I can actually enjoy being in the classroom. Didn't you sign up to be an ag teacher so that you could make a difference in kids' lives and actually enjoy being in your classroom too? So the moral of the story is this: if we want to be amazing teachers and we want to plan awesome lessons and have them engaging and have kids participating and actually learning the lesson like they're supposed to be, we have to have classroom management. It's critical. We've all been there where that one kid ruined the class. And in order for our kids to actually enjoy being in the class, then we need to manage the environment and we need to be the adults in charge. It's great to care about them and love them, but there's also the point where we need to take care of the issues that happen in our class. So if you're feeling frustrated with your classroom, or that doesn't matter how good your lesson plans are, some kid ruins it, I would love to walk with you while you figure out your own classroom management style so that you can enjoy your classroom again and your students.